Oh, we did our lunch already, and executive panel already. Okay. This is our final topping on the trusted relationships sector.
I know. Before we turn the corner and go to some of the other modules. So, the post-lunch topic, you know, trusted relationships. Does trust really matter? You know, it sounds kind of soft and fuzzy, and really I can come in and just do my job, and is it really something I need to worry about, you might be asking yourself? You know, but really I want to talk a little bit about and impress upon you that trust isn't a passive activity. It just doesn't happen without intentionally fostering and cultivating it. And we're going to talk about how specifically you do that and why it's important. And why it's important to being a boss, why it's important to your team, why it's important as you're cultivating relationships across the organization. At the core of trustworthiness, if there's one thing I want you to remember, it's relationships. It's really how do you foster and cultivate relationships, again, with your team and across the organization. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how do you do that specifically. It's like, oh, that sounds great, but how do I do that, right? Because it just doesn't happen. Relationships are how we connect with one another, right? How we interact with one another, how we respond to one another. We're going to talk about how to build relationships specifically. We're going to talk about supporting others and looking beyond just your area and keeping in mind the collective goal of the organization and how trust factors into that. We're going to talk about being able to not putting yourself above others. It's about being selfless, right? And thinking about, you know, we talked about we earlier, right? Instead of just me. And then we're going to talk about the importance of just even the simplest things like being engaged and friendly. It's like, well, that sounds silly. But if you think about it, the faster and faster our hurried world gets to be, this stuff gets to be harder, believe it or not. It doesn't come always naturally because we're all so very, help me, busy. Busy. Please don't make me role play. Okay, I won't. But let's do it easy, true or false, okay? So you tell me, true or false? Being trusted brings out the best in others. People who are trusted bring out the best in others. What do you think?
True.
True? Wow. That was in unison. Why? Oh, wow. Say it again.
They support others.
They do. They do. They bring out the best in others because
They support them.
That's right. If you think about it, your team will go above and beyond for you if they trust you. If they trust you, won't take them for granted, right? They will come in early, they'll stay late if they can. They'll raise their hand and say, I'm happy to help you with that. Because of trust. That's what gets them to do that. True or false? All right, so you guys are 1 for 1. You're doing pretty well. True or false? People who are trusted get more recognition.
Probably in some cases, but not all.
Oh, that's true or false, not maybe or sometimes.
False.
False. False? Why?
They're not looking for it.
Say it again.
They're not looking for it.
They're not looking for it.
They don't need it.
Who are the people that said true? Nobody? The rest of you are fence riders? Is that how that goes? It actually is true. Because people who are trusted garner the respect of others. You'll respect somebody that you trust. Wouldn't you agree? That's what makes this one true.
Let's back, is that within that group or are you talking within a company?
across the board. Across the board.
I would disagree with you.
We'll say more about that.
I just don't think it is recognized what goes on. One, because they're not out there, and I'm just talking about the operation piece.
Mm-hmm.
They don't see it. They may hear it, but they don't see it.
I think recognition, if you exchange the word recognition for acknowledgement, that might help. It's not the praising, it's noticing. That's the difference. People who are
Good point.
trusted
But
get
the
more noticed.
company-wide, I don't think it's recognized. I think inside our areas, or for my staff, telling them and recognizing the good job they do, they hear it. But they would not hear that from whoever.
Somebody else.
over
Do you
here,
think, what do you think it's gonna take to change that?
I think that
How do you, all right, how do you foster, we're talking about fostering trust. We're talking about building trust, we're talking about being intentional about it.
Maybe other leaders can go find out what's happening in other parts of the company.
And build more trust with the employees.
There you go, there you go, I think there's an opportunity.
I
So
think
that,
here, when things are going right, nobody talks about it, when things are going right. It's when things are going wrong that we tend to talk about it.
there you go. So wouldn't it be great to be proactive? Remember how we talked about trust is intentional, it's about being proactive? That's where that will fit in. All right, true or false? People who are trusted overcome life's challenges. Remember the audience participation part? Yeah. What do you think?
True.
True, why?
Because they've made the right choices to get to where they are, where they're trusted and respected.
People are, that's right. People are more apt to support them and say, I'm willing to help you. Barriers are removed for people who are trusted more easily.
Does that have something to do with like resiliency to the
Yes,
individual?
exactly. Exactly. Also, people are more free to give them feedback so that they can course correct sooner, which allows them to overcome some of those challenges. Does that make sense?
And they're probably open to more feedback.
And they're open to more feedback, exactly. Okay, true or false? They enjoy better health. People who are trusted enjoy better health.
True.
There you go.
I can contest to that.
Oh, really? Nice. And this is, like Nathan was saying, this ties into the resilience piece. People who are trusted generally are healthier because they're not wasting a lot of energy worrying about what are people thinking about me or saying about me.
It's like lower stress levels and
That's
lower
right.
cortisol and
Exactly.
Sure.
Are you also the health and wellness guy in the company?
You could be it.
That's fascinating stuff.
Last but not least, true or false? You guys you're doing fine. True or false? People who are trusted are sought after by others.
True.
Resounding true. Why?
Because they just invite that conversation.
They invite the conversation. People know they can be counted on. People know they can be right. They can be counted on, and they're consistent in their behavior. People who are trusted typically are more consistent in their behavior. Therefore, people will seek them out because they know what to expect. Right? People who are kind of unhinged, right? Trust those folks as well. There are probably pictures of people that come to mind, right? So how do we do this? How do we foster trust? I'm going to talk about each and every one of these and give you examples on what to do, and even in some cases what not to do, because it can be a derailer. Okay, ready? Pens in hand. All right, you guys are doing well.